I want to play the new Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4, but someone on the internet said I need to play the other ones first to understand this one. Now, I don't want to be lost, so I better go back and play the other ones first. I mean, how many could there be? Gah! Spider-Man, one of the most iconic heroes of all time, with hundreds of comics, movies, shows, toys, costumes, poster, pillowcases, football, car seats, covers, toasters, shoes, flash drives, flashlights, fleshlights, and whatever this is. But he wasn't always this famous. For that, we have to go back. What? Who cares about this garbage? I want the important things. Stan Lee and Steve Ditko created Spider-Man in 1962. They set out to create a relatable hero. He was poor, nerdy, bullied in school, and socially awkward. Then, he was bit by a radioactive spider, giving him extraordinary abilities like being poor, nerdy, bullied in school, and socially awkward. Oh yeah, now he can crawl on walls, has spider sense, and the proportion strength of a spider, but whatever. But this isn't a history lesson. I ain't your history teacher. We're here to find out if Spider-Man has been done justice in video games. And to start, let's go back.
Try to get up there in time, Spider-Man!
Watch me cut my web, Goblin!
Watch yourself fall, Silk Slinger!
Gotta stop the bombs in time!
If I don't get you, webhead, my diagnosis will!
Holy Hannah!
And you're running out of fluid!
Is this more action than even Spider-Man can handle?
Whoa!
Is this more action than even Spider-Man can handle?
Spider-Man for the Atari 2600. It isn't the greatest Spider-Man game, but it was the beginning. The entire game is just Spider-Man climbing up the building, trying not to fall. When you get to the top, you have to avoid the goblin and touch the super bomb, but you can't touch it head on. To disarm it, you have to touch it at an angle, because if you just go to it, you're gonna fall. Once you disarm it though, you get to level 2, which is the same level. What? The only difference is the building is a little taller and goblins faster. Every level is the same thing, just different colors. It's not a bad game, just a product of limitation. You can tell what most things are. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Goblin looks recognizable. The normal bombs look great. The super bombs look... well, the super bombs look like ass. But it can be a fun little kickback game. Overall, it was an Atari game, fun but simple, and a humble beginning to our Spider-Man video game journey. And if I had to rate it, I'd give it 3 sneaky Spider-Man memes out of 7. But still, I think the commercial was a little overhyped.
Out of fluid!
Is this more action than even Spider-Man?
The next game on our list is Spider-Man and Captain America in Doctor Doom's Revenge. This was made in 1989 by Paragon Software. I'm playing the MS-DOS version of the game, and before you start you have to answer a trivia question? I assume this was to stop piracy because a physical comic actually came with the game when you bought it. So, it would make sense for them to ask a question that could only be answered if you had the comic. I have to admit, this is very clever, but no matter what you choose, it always says you're correct. It's so bizarre, I don't know why it's in here. Moving on, the game has a pretty kick-ass title screen. The artwork is meh, but the music's jammin'. Alright, let's start playing. Jesus! What the hell was that? Is that supposed to be the noise of reading with your finger? Besides that god-awful sound effect, I like the comic book style cutscenes as a way to give us an idea of what's going on. It's a nice touch. Let's see if the gameplay is as charming as the comic panels. No! Wow, this is definitely the worst fighter game I have ever seen. The controls are unresponsive and unpredictable. You have to be a precise distance away to do a move, but not too far away. And there's no indication of that either. Just guess, check, hope for the best. The animations are atrocious, and if you thought that sound effect was bad before... but let's just push through. Alright, we killed the robot, not even a Doom bot, but just a casual robot. Let's see what's next. Alright, a bonus stage. Hopefully we can get some more health because that first robot took a bit of mine. The objective here is just to avoid the fireballs until it goes away, but that's a lot easier said than done. I said earlier that the controls in this game aren't very responsive, and it really shows in the challenges. Well, now I'm really low on health. I better get an extra life for beating this. Alright, now all we have to do is jump over the lamp from the Pixar intro, and shit, I died. There goes my extra life. Wait. Game over? What did I do to deserve this? You can lose the game in the bonus stage? What? Why even have it then? And only one life? I was halfway through the first mission and I was almost dead. Well, there is checkpoints, but you activate them during the comic strips by hitting B, which it doesn't tell you that anywhere. But when you save your progress, it also saves your health. So if you're low on health and you save, good luck trying to finish the next stage. So let's start from the beginning. Beat the robot, avoid the fireball, jump over the deadly Pixar lamp. Nice. Now it's Spider-Man time. This game has a lot of flaws, but I do want to point out how well the comic panels look, especially that close-up of Spidey's face. The gameplay is still awful, don't get me wrong, but I like that Spider-Man and Captain America play differently. Cap is less agile, can use his shield to block enemy swings, and Spider-Man is faster paced and can jump on the ceiling to avoid attacks. They play differently, and you do have to change strategy accordingly. After you face some robots, again, not Doombots, you get to the real villains, and they actually have a big roster of well-known villains, like Hobgoblin, Rhino, Gargoyle, Gorilla... Gorilla? Gorilla? Well, we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. So anyways, after you defeat Machete, when you walk into the next room you see 2 blank trophies. One appropriately named Webhead, and the other one named... Flagman? Who, this guy? He's not bothering anyone. I don't think anyone has ever called Captain America Flagman. That's so ridiculous. Honestly, I just hope that we can get Flagman as a DLC for Smash Ultimate. Come on, Sakurai, make it happen. Spider-Man and Captain America and Doctor Doom's Revenge is a bad game. It has some charm, but the gameplay gets rid of anything that could be fun. Overall, I'm gonna have to give this my lowest score. 5 disappointed Spider-Man memes out of 5. I'm sorry, lowest score, worst game. Well, it can't get any worse than that, I guess. Can it? The last game we're gonna be playing today is The Amazing Spider-Man. I'm gonna be running this one on MS-DOS again. Whoa, this game looks great! And it only came out a year later from what we just saw. The comic panels are back and damn, do they look good. There's actual shading in them. This really is a step up from what we just saw, and I don't want to jinx it, but I'm pretty hyped. Let's jump in. What? Why does Peter have such a hunchback? Why aren't we playing as this Spider-Man? And why is R2-D2 here? What, is R2 a villain? But seriously, they made an amazing looking Spider-Man on the side. Why wouldn't they just zoom the camera in and make him the sprite, not Spider-Man SquarePants over here? But it turns out the Spider-Man on the right actually has a reason for being there. He's the health bar. Whenever you get hurt in this game, a little piece of Spider-Man goes away and he becomes a skeleton. Honestly, I have to give it points for being the most unique health bar I've ever seen. Back to the game though, it's a puzzle game that's extremely slow. That's it. The AI is a minor inconvenience, and Spidey's so slow it's unbearable. The puzzles are simple and honestly just not fun. It reminds me of going around the house turning the light switches on and off at different spots, so it's back to up being on and down being off. And I still think I would have more fun doing that. There really isn't much else to talk about this game besides the glitch I found when researching it. You can beat the game in the first 3 screens. All you have to do is go to the second screen, get on the helicopter. When you reach the top, jump off to the left and shoot your web to make it to the corner. You should glitch into the wall. After that, just jump and the wall should push you out. Now you're in Mysterio's lair. This is a great example of the cancer that's this game's enemies. Every AI is programmed the same. Walk right until you hit something, then walk left until you hit something. He will take care of himself. And what's the reward for beating it, you ask? This end screen with the ugliest Spider-Man I have ever seen. Who is this? Where's the guy from the title screen? How did we end up with young Conan O'Brien as Peter Parker? I had so much hope. I had so much faith. Overall, I'm gonna have to give this 3 out of 2 angry Spider-Man memes. Alright, well that was the first batch of games. So far not great, but we still have plenty to go. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the subscribe button to be notified when episode 2 comes out. And have a great day.